Hey y'all, welcome to my kitchen for another What's for Dinner. My name is Bethany, or Budget Bethany, and up first we're going to be making crock pot pulled pork. And I've just got my pork loin in my crock pot, and I'm going to add some of this Dr. Pepper with cream soda. And I'm also going to season up my meat just a little bit. I always like to add the liquid first just so it doesn't wash off all the seasonings. Then we're going to put that on low, and we're going to put the lid on our crock pot and cook it for 7 hours. When your pork is done and you're ready to start serving dinner, you can just shred up your meat. I'm just using 2 forks, but some people use their hand mixer and it works really well also. And then you just pour over whatever kind of barbecue sauce you prefer. I'm using this Kraft Sweet Honey because with my Piggly Wiggly coupons, I could get it for 1 cent. So why not? I'm going to use it up. Then I'm going to give that a stir and mix it up really well. And I'm going to be serving that pulled pork over on some buns, just pulled pork sandwiches. To go with it, we're going to make some tater salad. So I'm just dicing up some potatoes right here, and then I'm going to boil them until they're soft. I'm just boiling some fresh corn that I had in my freezer, and then here's my potatoes. They're coming to a boil right now. It's just heating up. And then back here I've got some eggs that I've got boiled. Now I'm just got to hull them, and we're going to make deviled eggs with those. So right here I'm just taking off the shell, and then next we will cut them in half and place our yolks in a separate bowl. And then once you get all your yolks took out of your eggs, you're just going to mix in some mayonnaise and salt and pepper. Mix that up really well. Some people add relish, but I don't really prefer relish in mine, so I didn't add any. Then you'll just daub that onto your eggs, fill your eggs back up, and you have deviled eggs. And here is my eggs once they were all done. I just sprinkled on a little bit of seasoning salt just for flavor. And then now my potatoes are done boiling and they're good and soft, so we're going to start making our tater salad. So to start with, some people don't like to mash their potatoes in tater salad, but I do, so I'm going to use my potato masher and mash up my potatoes really well. And then I'm going to mix in some mayonnaise, mustard, and I was out of relish, so I just cut up some dill pickles in there and salt and pepper, and that was it. And also I add a boiled egg, a hard-boiled egg. For some reason I forgot to add it this night, so we didn't have one, but it was still good without an egg. So if you don't have an egg, you can still make tater salad too. And here is our plate once it was all fixed. We just got some sesame seed buns with our pulled pork on them, and then some corn on the cob, and our tater salad, and our deviled egg. Then on the next night, it was taco night. It was Tuesday, of course. So I'm just adding some oil to my pan, and I've got some ground beef heating up that you can see right there in the bottom. My husband prefers ground beef tacos, but I wanted chicken fajitas, so I was cooking both on this night. I'm adding a little bit of butter to my pan. That's for my fajitas over there. Now I'm going to add in my chicken and my green bell pepper, red bell pepper, and orange bell pepper, and let all that cook together. And I'm also going to add in a fajita seasoning packet. Oh my gosh, y'all, look how delicious it looks. Anything with chicken and peppers is so delicious to me. I just love those two mixed together. There's the ground beef with just taco seasoning in it. And here's our Spanish rice. That's old El Paso kind. I'm fixing to show it to you right here in the next clip. I found it next to the taco shells and stuff like that at Walmart. Then I've just got mine topped with some shredded cheddar cheese and sour cream, and then we've got some tortilla chips right there with some of this Gordo's cheese dip. I had several people comment on my grocery haul about me calling them tortillas, but that's what I call them, y'all. I guess the correct word for them is tortilla chips, but that just don't sound right to me, y'all, so I'm going to keep calling them tortilla chips. Alright, so up next we're going to be making shrimp alfredo with just some Texas toast. So to begin with, you'll need some shrimp, and I'm going to use 2 of these extra small already cooked shrimp that you get at Walmart. They're like $5 for a bag. I got a box of fettuccine noodles and some cream cheese, and I got the Philadelphia kind just because it was on sale at Piggly Wiggly and it's the best, so why not? And I think I got it for like 1 penny. You'll need some heavy whipping cream and some shredded Parmesan cheese. I've always heard that if you shred it yourself it's better, but y'all, that was pretty good right there. Then I got some butter, and I won't need the whole stick, some chicken broth, and some garlic salt for seasoning. And then I just got the Great Value Texas toast. It's our favorite. It's really good. You can also get some at the Dollar Tree that's really good, but we're going to use that today because I didn't want to go to Dollar Tree. To start with, you'll just melt you some butter in your pan, and I'm adding some olive oil into my water that's coming to a boil over there to add my fettuccine noodles into. Once my butter melts, I'm going to add my shrimp in there. My shrimp were frozen, but it still worked out. It just took a little bit longer to cook. And I suppose this part's optional. You don't have to add seasonings to your shrimp, but I do because I love all the flavors. Of course, I'm going to show you what I'm adding to mine, but I always tell you to add whatever kind of seasonings that you like. So now that my water is boiling, I'm just going to crack in my fettuccine noodles, and I do it just like I do my spaghetti noodles. I break them in half. Do you break your noodles in half, or do you cook them whole? I feel like it adds more, like you have more noodles if you break them in half instead of just leaving them whole. Now I'm just going to scoop my shrimp out of my pan and leave all the juices in the pan, and I'm going to start making my alfredo sauce in there. And to start with, I'm just going to sprinkle in a little bit of garlic salt just for flavor, because I did not have any fresh garlic on hand, so I used garlic salt. And then I'm going to add in my Parmesan cheese. It was already shredded, so I didn't have to shred mine. It's the Frigo kind. I think I said that right. Then I'm going to add in some heavy whipping cream, and y'all know I don't measure, so I'm just pouring in to my heart's content. And then I'm just going to cut up my cream cheese in there. I just felt like it would melt better than just tossing the whole block of cream cheese up there. Then I'm just going to stir that around and let the cream cheese melt and the Parmesan cheese melt and all the flavors come together. I'm also going to let that simmer on low for about 5 minutes before I add in my shrimp and my noodles, or my fettuccines. Alright, so once my alfredo sauce got through simmering, I realized that the pan was not big enough for everything. So I poured it into a bigger pot, and then I'm just adding in my fettuccine noodles and my shrimp. I'm going to mix that up really well and let those mingle and combine. And then I'm going to kind of let that simmer for 1 to 2 minutes. And then I'm going to add in just a little bit of basil just for color, and just it gives it a little bit more flavor to me, but I just wanted a little bit of green popping in there, and that was it. And then, as I said earlier, we just had some of this great value garlic Texas toast to go with our chicken Alfredo, and voila, it was done just that fast. And then here's my plate all plated up. I did sprinkle a little bit more of the basil on top of mine just to make it look pretty and fancy and everything for y'all. Alright y'all, tonight we're going to be making some corn okra and tomato soup. So I got my okra right here cut up, or okra. We call it okra here in the South, but y'all know what I'm talking about. My okra. I got 2 cans of crushed tomatoes right here and 2 cans of whole kernel corn. We're just going to mix all this stuff into our crock pot and cook that on low, and dinner will be ready in like 5 to 6 hours. So basically, I'm just going to be dumping all this into my crock pot. I feel like this is an awesome dump and go crock pot meal. It was fabulous on this night because it was a really busy night at our house. But y'all, that's all I got for y'all this week. I hope y'all enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner. If you did, please don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And also leave me a comment in the comments. I love chatting with y'all and getting to know y'all better. And I'll catch y'all in next week's. Y'all stay safe. Bye, y'all.